Hey, it's me, Pinky. I hope that this thing right here is a microphone. I've been digging around looking for microphones. We have all kinds of gadgets in the house. It's Sunday, 1 o'clock. I just got out of the shower. It was so hot this morning. It's been so hot, but then in the afternoon it's been clouding up and we're still getting rain every day. The feud with the neighbors across the street is officially on. I've been letting my horses out to eat. The greens are plentiful. Look at all that. Weeds and stuff everywhere. And sometimes they go out of the yard. I have a gate right there, and I have a gate on this other side. But the back side, what is it? Is open. And come on. The back side is open, and I have another driveway gate that's open. They can go out if they want. And they go all around the neighborhood. Not all around the neighborhood, but down the alleyway they go. And they come around this front side, and then they come up, and they go over to the neighbors, and they don't mind if they go over there to the corner house. Okay, well, as you all know, if you've been following me for any amount of time, I have had it with these neighbors over and over and over again. I hated them before they ever even moved in, because the amount of noise that went on there. I had a 2.5-year-old in the house at the time, still sleeping late, taking naps, whatnot. And for 6 months that they built on that thing. Shut up, Ginger. For 6 months that they built on that thing, they drove me insane. And then they built that frickin' $500,000 barn. The guy's been showing his ass ever since he moved here. He's surrounded by poor people, and he does not hesitate to tell you how much he paid for his house, and that they paid for cash, and blah, and they paid this for the barn, and they paid that for the da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and it's so rude. It's like, you're surrounded by poor people, quit showing your ass, Nobody can stand him. He used to be the fire chief in Socorro, and he's a bitch. Nobody could stand him. Anyway, so I haven't liked them since before they even moved in with all their freaking racket. And anyway, the other day, I guess my horses went in his yard. And, well, first my goats went in his yard, and they were eating his hay, and he called and he got real... And see, he's known my husband for like 50 years, so the feud's going to be between them. Me and his old lady are going to be the sideshow. And he called and he said, your goats are over here eating my hay. What do you want me to do with them? Okay. So I don't know. We went back and got them or whatever. Maybe I wasn't even home. I don't know. Okay. And then I guess somewhere along the way, my horses went in his yard and ate his grain. He's got his grain in 2 silver trash buckets outside of his big old $500,000 barn. Well, that's stupid. It could be a raccoon, it could have been anything. It could have been, who knows what. It could have been dogs knocked it over and then my horses ate it. Who knows, Or he doesn't even know if my horses ate it. He went home. He's just assuming that they did. Okay. Anyway, and I didn't know that till I just went over there now. My horses were walking up the side street and they went in his yard, and so I followed him. And he was sitting on his back porch. I guess he was waiting on them. And he pops up and he runs in the house and he comes out. And by that time, I've got him turned around and headed out the gate. And he comes up, gimping up next to me. I'm going to call the livestock board on you if you don't keep them horses. And I say, hey, I'm feeding my horses. And frankly, I don't give a fuck. The weeds are plentiful. I'm letting mine out. They need it. Well, they ain't going to eat my grain. They came over here and ate half a bag of grain the other day. About that time, he flips this little whip thing. We're already on our way out the gate. He didn't need to do that. Nearly runs my own horse over the top of me. He nearly kicked me in the head. And I looked at him and I said, that wasn't necessary. And that's when he said, I'm going to call the livestock on you. And I said, all right, go ahead. This is a fence me out state. You go ahead and call them. They're not going to get mad at me for letting my animals out to eat when it's clear that they need the green. We feed our horses hay every day. But right now, weeds are plentiful, and I'll bet you anything, the horse inspector would say, it's a fence me out state, buddy. Put up a gate if you don't like her horses eating your weeds or your grain or whatever. So I came back, my husband's standing on the back porch, and Now he's in there shaving because he's getting ready to go over and have a little powwow with this MFer. Shut up. Theirs are the ones whose dogs bark constantly, day in and day out. From the minute they moved in, like I said, I couldn't even lay Olivia down to take a nap. I couldn't even walk out my front door. As soon as I walk out my front door, they hear the door shut and they would start running that fence and yap, 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 all freaking day. I can't even go. That's why I sit out here in the back. I can't even go in my own front yard without those dogs just yapping and, causing dissension. I mean, it barks so much that my mom could be standing right here in the yard with me and she can't hear what I'm saying. Then they've done that, they've drilled 2 freaking wells, and that has been a source of contention, the racket with the wells. Now he's got a little 4-wheeler. He's over there doing something with the hay or something. Anyway, if you have that big old barn, why don't you put your hay and your grain in there? Or what, you just, that's what it's for, you dumb shit. That's what it's for. That's a freaking barn right there. And in between the barn and that stable, he's watching me watch him. And right between that barn, right behind that pickup is where he keeps his grain sitting out in a bucket, in a trash barrel. Yeah? And right there's the barn. Now, why wouldn't you just put the grain in there and your hay in there? Why would you leave it out if you have that big old barn? That's what the barn is for. Clearly, he's an idiot. Anyway, and his wife. I have not liked her ever since they moved in. She's real snooty. And, they just got married. I know his ex-wife, and his ex-wife's been in a junkyard dog. She probably whipped the shit out of him all the time. But they've just been married, and recently, within the past 3 years. And he built her that big old house. And, she can only be with him for the money because, he's disgusting. And, he's rude. I can't stand him. Like I said, he thinks he's something special because he's a name around here. But you know what? Name don't mean jack shit to me because my husband's a name too. And we've been here forever, 150 years. So, and we've been on this dirt right here for 40 years. So I bet you if we go to court and say they are disrupting our peace, they're going to listen to us before they listen to him. I don't want to go to court with the bastard. I just want him to keep his dog shut and to leave me alone. And I told my husband, you tell him never to speak to me again. He came right up to me and flipped that whip right by me, nearly got me ran over by my own horse. You tell him never to speak to me again. Because if he does, I'm going to get a restraining order against him. I don't even want him to speak to me, let alone come over here. Anyway, 7 minutes wasted on that idiot, and that's all I'm going to say about it until they give me some more shit. I hope this microphone is working. It's a beautiful day. Looks like it's going to rain. I've got a lot to do. I need to get up to Albuquerque this week and get my brother moved. He got a wonderful new caretaker, Geneva. She's wonderful, and I love her. Plus, guess what? She goes every single day, and she's there for 4 hours instead of twice a week. The other agency was giving him twice a week, 2 or 3 hours. This agency is giving him 4 hours a day, every day, 7 days a week. So that's great. So I'm not in such a big hurry to get up there and, except to get him moved. I got to get him moved by Wednesday because all of this stuff's going to be switched over. But, I'm not feeling that urgency to get there all the time because I know that Geneva's there and she is taking excellent care of him and keeping the apartment very clean. She's a very nice girl. I really love her. Already I love her. I know she's going to be perfect. She's very sensitive and sensitive to these types of things, and she's had a grandparent that she caretook, and she does caretaking for a lot of other people, and she's very sensitive, and I like that, So everything's going pretty good up there otherwise, and I haven't heard from my daughter today. I'm not sure what's going on up there. Heard from her yesterday. She still hasn't turned herself in. And I don't know where she's at, other than in the city. But I don't know where she's staying or anything. She's keeping very low. She doesn't want to implicate me by keeping in contact with me, which I appreciate. Anyway, let me know if you can hear this okay. And then I'll come back to make a better vlog later. I know that was just basically a rant, and sorry about that, but sometimes I got to. All right. Bye-bye.